fun night Saturday
We
night.
did.
It was
A lot of kids.
Oh, my God.
A lot of kids. Bike races always brings a lot of them out.
And this man doesn't want his name mentioned, and we didn't know it until Thursday, so obviously we didn't have much of a chance to advertise it, but a good friend of the Speedway, he did it back in the spring, I think at our Easter weekend race where we had the Easter egg hunt, but told me not to charge any of the kids from 6 to 12 and keep track of them, and he would pay their admission Saturday night. So everybody 12 and under Saturday night got in free.
That was cool.
This man, I wish he'd let me tell his name, but I tell you, he's a good supporter of the Speedway. He's a great friend, and maybe someday we'll tell it. But
that's fantastic.
Hope all the kids had a great time. The bicycle races that thanks to Anderson City Parks Department for putting that on. I think Amy said we had 70 or 80 bicycles.
There was a lot
year,
of them out there.
And it was a hoot.
Yeah, it was.
We only had one little minor instance.
Yeah.
And the young lady,
she jumped up and got in the next race.
Bike, and I said, well, we got 2 races for your division. How about, would you like to run another? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So she got
right back on it. She sure did.
But congratulations to all the kids. They all got trophies, and we had, I think, 4 winners or 5.
4,
I can't remember.
Yes.
For the evening. So it's a good deal. And then our good friends at Myers, the department store here in Anderson, and the Madison County Shrine Club, they donated 3 bicycles, brand new ones, that we gave away to the kids on Saturday night, so that went over good. And then we had championship races one more time.
On the bikes, real quick, the one I liked, and you said it's from the 0 to 5, whatever that group was. We do them down the center of the figure 8 course, so we don't get them up on the track itself, but right through the crossover there. And there was a little boy on a tricycle there, and he was the very last one. So his dad picked him up and was carrying him to the liner, and he was still pedaling. It was cute. It was cute as could be, but he did cross the line.
Well, we went into Saturday night with our Thunder Roasters was the closest, or Thunder Roasters, Thunder Cars was our closest points battle of all of our divisions this year at the Speedway. There was 1 point separating Curtis Chapman and Robbie Wyman. Curtis had a 1-point advantage. After qualifying, Curtis set fast time. Robbie was 4th time, so that created a little more deficit. Heat race, Lonnie Burton won it, and Curtis Chapman, and then Robbie Wyman 3rd. In the second heat race, Austin Russell won a heat race. And then in the feature, I think Robbie had to beat Curtis by 2 positions to make it work. And unfortunately for Robbie, his car, it got hit, I don't know, a month or so ago, and I talked to Rob, his dad, and he said it just wasn't right after that, and they just haven't been able. In fact, they run the street stock race last week just to see if they could get the bugs out of it, and just couldn't quite get it done. And Curtis Chapman in a very fast car Saturday night, and he was determined to win another championship, and he did in the 3 car, and he was followed by Trent Gosser, was back in the 71, Robbie Wyman, Lonnie Burton, and Nick Warner rounded out the top 5, and of course Curtis Chapman won the points championship for the.
And on Robbie Wyman's car, when they first brought it out this year, there it was kind of a throwback back to yesteryear. I think it was his dad's or grandpa's or somebody.
I think it was Rob's dad.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it takes you back when you see that car. It did me anyway. So it was cool. It was cool to see it.
You like that stuff?
I do, and it was cool to see him drive that all year long.
Good.
Yeah. It was. I loved it.
It made you happy.
It did. Made me happy. I was glad to see that 10 car out there.
Front wheel drive oval. Jerry Dane basically has dominated all season, and all he had to really do was start Saturday night, and he started off hot because he set fast time in the heat race. Oh, I'm back up. Thundercars. In the heat race, Ronnie Phipps in the 31 car, and Billy Hooton in the 52, and Jerry Dane in the 9 car in the first heat race. Then we had Brandon Lee Cook, Jeff Saxon, and Cody Riley in the second heat race. And then Jerry Dane won the feature. I didn't get to see much. I don't think we had much activity on the track Saturday night.
All the features ran pretty smooth Saturday night.
And so congratulations to
Jerry Dane,
Jim Warner, the car owner, and Jerry Dane for winning the points in the front-wheel drive oval division. Then we had Thunder Roadsters, And we had a first-time winner.
We
in the
did.
race.
Man, was he excited.
Ross Schuler from Carmel driving Larry Fritz's number 1 car. Won the first heat race, and that's his first win ever, I think.
Yeah, it was.
He was on cloud 9.
He sure was.
And then in the feature, John Robbins beat out Doug Duggar, who's come on strong the last part of the season. Marty Griffith, Mark Dietzen, Rodney Oliver, and John Robbins won another Anderson Speedway championship.
And a little story on Rodney Oliver. I guess that car that he's driving, he bought that. I kind of was talking to him back when they were in the line back there on turn 3, and I said, I understand you bought this car. He goes, yes. I says, the bug bit you again, didn't he? He goes, yes, it did. He said, I'm having a ball.
Yep, Rodney. And then a friend of his bought one. And I talked to Doug Duggar, who's the new Legend dealer in this area. Finally, we got another local Legend dealer we can work with. So that series is going to be strong next year. He said they've already sold 2 others. So and that's before the season's even over. So look out this winter. I mean, if we get another 4 or 5 of these out there, we're going to have the 15 or 20
That's what they're thinking they may have next year.
We've been looking for, and these guys are great to watch. They put on good races, and they're great to work with.
Yes,
I mean, they're all in there to help them each other. They're not in there fussing and fighting like a few of our folks are. Most of our guys are
pretty good.
Are good guys in the pits. But the Thunder Roasters, congratulations to John Robbins. Then we had the front-wheel drive figure 8s, and I can't even remember what car. In fact, the points aren't final on it. I've got to go back through every single race and see who drove what car. I mean, with some of these cars, especially in the Williams McKinney stables, they bounce back and forth with drivers and owners, and which you're not supposed to bounce back and forth with owners, so I'll make sure I double-check that. So I'm not real sure who the driver is that won the points champion in the front-wheel drive figure 8s, but Jeff Williams' car, I'm pretty sure, is the one that won it. I believe it's the 2 car, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But Nick Warner, who is
been hot in the figure 8 this year.
Just dominant in that division, period. Set fast time in the first heat, Camden Creek, followed by Jeff Williams and Elliott McKinney. And then in the feature, Nick Warner, Jeff Williams in the 33 car, that's Andy Keller's car. Elliott McKinney, Trent Gosser jumped in the 7 car, and Jeff Saxon was in the 4 car.
I'm not sure. Was that Trent's first time in a figure 8 car?
That was Trent's first time.
Was it really? He did a pretty good job.
We had issues with both of the Henson drivers and their car owner, their dad. I don't know why. We still don't know why. And you watched the race. Why they felt it necessary to get out of their race cars after all the preaching that we have done, people. This is why it happens. Preach and preach and preach. Don't get out of your race car on the racetrack. Well, what do they do? As soon as they stopped, and I mean, this is, let alone it's a rule that we don't let be broken, but they've been in trouble several times before. So what do? They get out and show their hind ends on the racetrack, and so they got an early exit from Anderson Speedway Saturday night, and so but you know it wasn't the car's fault, and it wasn't Mark Sutherland's fault. I mean, you're supposed to be responsible for your driver, but Mark Sutherland owns the 7 car, and we told him that he could race if he found a driver, and they were parked right beside Gosser's, and Trent said that he would do it.
Like I say, Tom's a veteran figure 8 driver.
Well, by golly, it's in your blood. Yeah. And Tom come up to me and said, "Don't tell his mom. She's sitting on the stand. She don't know it. She's liable to kill us all." Teresa's a great gal. But he got in it and finished in 4th place, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he did a good job. I hope he had fun doing it.
So hopefully maybe it's in his blood enough that he'll put together one of those new figure 8 cars.
There we are. There you go.
So that's the story on the season championships at Anderson Speedway. Of course, we got Jack Dawsey the third, won our late model division. Dustin Burge in the street stocks, and didn't we have one?
That was it. 'Cause we had to move the Thunder Roasters to this.
Right.
Yep. So we've got them all crowned now.
Banquet is, I believe, it's the 8th of November, second Saturday in November, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have all that information out soon. And As soon as I can get to it, I will have all the winners and awards, the ones that are eligible for postseason awards, and we'll get those posted on the website.
And now from here on out, it's all special events.
And
fun stuff, yes.
Got the points out of it.
Fun stuff coming up.
And I just clicked on our website, and there is a billboard of what's coming up on the 25th. The Barbarian and Warlord are going to be at Anderson Speedway in a wrestling match.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to have fun the night of thrills.
We are.
Trust me. This Saturday night, we have a big night of racing, something a little different that we haven't been able to do before. We have the McGonigal engine late models and the street stocks. We're going to run twin 50s races. I think we've actually got we do have qualifying and heat races.
I believe so. Yes.
For both divisions. It is a $1,000 to win the late models and $150 to start, $750 to win the street stocks, and $100 to start. That's a little bigger purse than normal. But a lot of the tracks are closed, and a lot of these guys still want to race some more. It is the last chance for you to see late models at Anderson Speedway in 2014.
That's true.
So we really want to urge everybody to come out. Gates open at 4 o'clock this Saturday. We're into October, so gates open at 4. We will race at 7. And it is forecast to be a little cool.
Mid-60s, that's not bad.
But it'll get a little cool when the sun goes down, so just bring an extra jacket.
Hence, that's why we're starting an hour early.
We'll have plenty of hot chocolate and coffee in Big Joe's Event Services. So
it'll still be. We'll have some hot racing. I'll keep everybody warm.
We will. And in addition to that, we have the rescheduled Grant Fritz Greg Dietzen Memorial Legend Race. That's 75 laps of action. We'll have drivers coming from all over the area for that. And we've also got the Pro Compacts.
And 4 divisions. That should be a good show.
So we'll have a good time. Gates open at 4. We will race at 7. Also, for all of our competitors and fans, if you want to come out and watch fans, it doesn't cost you a dime if you want to just go and sit in the pit bleachers. This Friday night, we have an open practice. It, too, has been moved up. We'll open the pits at 3, and we'll practice from 4 till 7.
Yes.
This Saturday night.
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah. Saturday night's when we race,
right?
Right. And, of course, we've advertised for quite a while all of our events in October. If we do by chance get weather situation, the rain dates will be on Sunday, and it doesn't look like that's going to be necessary this year. Everything I've looked at looks like clear on Saturday.
And times will vary if that does happen.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yes.
But this Saturday, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock is the only 2 times you need to remember.
That's exactly
We're going to have
right.
some great racing. So we're going to step aside here and take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to a young lady that's going to be one of the featured drivers week after next in a big, huge event at Anderson Speedway. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We'll be right back.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
50 years ago, Tom Raper sold his first camper off a dirt lot in Richmond, Indiana. Since then, Tom Raper RVs has grown to be one of the largest RV dealers in America, selling the top brands at the best prices. That's why folks like you come from all over the Midwest to buy their recreational vehicles from Tom Raper RVs. Why, we reckon we've sold over 100,000 campers since we started. That's a lot of campers. That's a lot of fun. Tom Raper RVs in Richmond or online at tomraper.com.
When I was a boy, we had family pitch-in dinners on Sunday, so I knew on Saturdays Mom would be in the kitchen baking pies. and especially sugar cream pies. I will never forget pulling a chair up to the table. I always turned the chair around back so I could perch on my knees while watching Mom take her fingers and flute the pie crust. You know, that little squiggly thing all the way around. And of course, after the pies were baked, we would beg and plead with Mom, only to have her put her foot down and say, nope, we were not going to get any pie until everybody came by tomorrow. But on Sunday at the family gathering, that first bite of pie was always worth the wait. Mom's a little older now, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy freshly made sugar cream pies together. Now, instead of Mom making them, I pick up a Wix sugar cream pie. They use simple, fresh ingredients because of Wix rigid freshness standards. The wholesomeness and taste of their pies is better than Mom's. But don't tell her I said that. Now you can pick up a Wix sugar cream pie at most of your local grocery stores. Just look for them in the frozen dessert aisle. I'm Brownie, and I can honestly say about Wix pies, you don't just eat them, you enjoy them.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings, or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
Casey and the Sunshine Band. Are you serious?
I knew you'd know that because that's disco.
Did you disco when you were young?
Yeah, he still got it on 8-track in his car, I'm sure. We're back. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong, Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. I announced last week, and I thought that they were going to be up on our website. Maybe they are, and I'm just not seeing them here real quick, but we were introducing a new division in 2015 at Anderson Speedway. New figure 8 division. We have the rules completed. I got to make a couple of changes, and maybe it's kind of good that I can't find them because one of them's kind of first one on the list, but it's basically any 1978 or newer cars. I think the rules that I sent said 75, 78 or newer cars. It's going to be a fun division. I've already talked to a lot of people. A lot of people have talked to us. They are building cars. I know one team, and these aren't just, I'm just not pulling fluff out of the air. They've got 5 cars.
Wow.
And they plan on running all 5 of them, so that's pretty cool.
That's great. That's a good start.
Several others. I mean, we're up to already 12 to 13 cars, and we're just getting started on it. So
Look out.
Figure 8s are coming back to Anderson Speedway next year. But we have a big month of October coming up. We're going to get into the week after this one here in just a couple minutes. On the 18th, which will be 2 weeks from Saturday, we've got triple hundreds races with street stocks, thunder cars, and the Vors Compact Touring Series is going to be in town for a 100-lap race. And then on the 25th this month, that's Halloween weekend, we are going to have a night of thrills like you've never seen before. I can honestly say that. We're going to start the night off, it looks like now, with a wrestling match with professional wrestlers, and these are actually wrestlers that's wrestled in the big times.
Really?
The Barbarian and Warlord, and we're actually going to do this out. We're going to put the ring out near the pavilion so everybody can sit around, because we can't put it in the middle of the track because we're getting ready to have, we got races Saturday night, and who knows what's going to happen when that happens. But then after that, we've got the Night of Thrills with, I know we got mattress races. I don't know what all we're having.
Corkscrew.
I think we're going to have rollover cars.
The hourglass race, maybe.
Hourglass cars. We are not going to have, unfortunately, due to safety concerns and things that have happened at other tracks, we can't do the spectator races this year. But we're going to have plenty of other things to keep you occupied. And then when we get finished, we're going to have a big fireworks show.
To cap off the season.
and then we'll take a month off, and on November the 30th, we're going to have our second annual Turkey Bash.
It'll be fun.
So that's good. And I'm already getting calls and emails on the Turkey Bash.
Are you really?
Yes, from Louisville, Kentucky. They're bringing 3 or 4
They
cars.
did last year.
Great bunch of guys when they come up, too. I think some of them even camped.
I think we might want to remind everybody on the Nights of Thrills that the gates open at 2, and we're going to start everything at 4 o'clock.
3:30.
Oh, okay, you changed it.
Yeah, we're going to start early then because it can get pretty cold that time of year. But coming up on the 11th, which is a week from this Saturday.
Big night.
Big night. It was big last year in our inaugural year. This year it's our second year. And our good friends at Community Hospital in Anderson have stepped on board, along with MedExpress and several other sponsors, to present our Paint the Night Pink at Anderson Speedway. And the pink is to bring our attention to Breast Cancer Awareness Month and breast cancer research for the month of October. And we're going to do our part. I think last year the United Auto Workers raised in upwards of $20,000 from this event. So we're looking to better that, obviously, this year. And featured that night is the United States Speed Association sprint cars. It looks like we're going to have a bunch of those because most all the tracks are closed, and a lot of these sprint car guys still want to race. We're going to have the Winged Outlaw figure 8s. We're going to have mini cups, and we're also going to have the Mel Kenyon midgets again. And one of the stars of that series, and just a great driver and a great young lady, an ambassador for the series, for racing in general, and for breast cancer awareness and United Auto Workers, is Jessica Bean, and I believe we have her on the line right now. Jessica, how are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Fantastic. We need a good ladies' touch to our program to make this run a little smoother. Jessica, we'll ask you a little bit about your racing if time permits, but I know this Thursday you're putting on an event at Fast Times Indoor Karting down in Indianapolis. Tell us what's going on down there.
Yeah, like you said, this Thursday, October 2nd, at Fast Times in Indianapolis, which is at the corner of Keystone and 96th Street. We're putting on a Karting for a Cure. It's the second annual. Last year was our first, and we had a great time. We had a great group of people come out, and we just made laps and raised money for breast cancer.
I know you have be a lot of racers there too, won't there?
Yes, there'll be a lot of your short track racers, a lot of the guys from the sprint car series, the Mel Kenyon midgets, and hopefully even some other special guest appearances.
You never know who might show up at one of those. And
exactly.
who all can come to the event?
Oh, everybody's invited. The public's invited. Everybody can get in a car, all ages. The only requirement is that you have to be at least 45 inches tall to get in a car and make laps. So everybody's invited. We hope to see a lot of people there this year. We had a great turnout last year, and we hope to better it this year.
What's the cost to make laps for the cause?
The cost is $22, and that gets you 8 minutes of driving on the track, and $7 of that $22 goes straight back to making strides against breast cancer.
That's pretty cool. Great. You never know. Yes. You may have a racetrack promoter or two show up and show these racers really how it's supposed to be done.
Well, I hope we do.
Well, Jessica, you've been racing, it seems like only yesterday, but you've raced for several years now. Tell us how your season's going, and tell us about the Mel Kenyon Midget series and what it's done for your career.
My season is going. It has ups and downs like any season, I guess. Right now, I'm second in points in a tough points battle for the championship with 2 races left. This weekend we're at Speedrome, and then next weekend we're, of course, at Anderson Speedway for a finale in the Paint the Night Pink. And hoping to get another win there. Last time we were there, I picked up the win, so it's a great series. We're having a blast this year. We've had a lot of new drivers and a lot more cars, and the series is definitely growing, and it's going in the right direction.
It is, and it's a good, and we've talked about it many times on this show, what a great learning series it is for drivers to advance to bigger things down the road. I think we talked this year like five of the top 7 qualifiers in the little 500 or finishers in the little 500 got their start in the Mel Kenyon Midget Series, so that's pretty cool.
I think the one that won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah. And I know this event that we're having, the Paint the Night Pink for breast cancer awareness, it was a big event last year, and you became somewhat of a celebrity. I think I've seen your picture on the cover of a pretty prominent magazine.
Yeah, last year I was fortunate enough to get on the cover of Active Life magazine, which it circulates in the regional area of Indianapolis. And of course, I had to shoot at Anderson Speedway, where else? And and it was a great promotion for Paint the Night Pink and breast cancer awareness in itself.
Well, Jessica, I really appreciate you taking the time with us this evening, folks. If you're not doing anything Thursday, get down to Fast Times down in Indy. It's real close to Anderson's on the north side there at 96th and right there in Keystone, right there close to 465. I mean, it's easy to get there. Even if you don't race, get out and meet a lot of friends and a lot of racers and support this great cause. And maybe someday we can eradicate having to have this event for breast cancer as we've destroyed it.
Right.
So Jessica, thanks a lot.
Thank you. We hope to see a lot of people there on Thursday night, 7 to 10, and hope to make it a great event.
All right, and we look forward to seeing you a week from Saturday at Anderson Speedway, young lady.
Look forward to being back.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot. Jessica Beam, one of the stars of the Mel Kenyon Midget Series.
She can wheel a midget car around that track.
Don and Mel Kenyon are probably two of the best people you will ever meet,
You're
not
right.
only just in racing, but just good
people,
good folks.
Yes.
And
will help anybody with anything.
And their focus is on developing drivers, and they have succeeded tremendously. Like I said, Jacob Wilson, two-time winner of the Little 500, has got his start in Mel Kenyon.
If I remember,
Chris Wyndham.
Chris Wyndham, that's who I was trying to think of.
2 or 3 years ago.
2011 winner.
There.
Yep.
So it's Dalton Caleb Armstrong this year. And I could go on down the list, but this Saturday night, first of all, Friday night, all of our competitors open practice. Pit gates open at 3. We'll practice from 4 till 7. And this Saturday night at Anderson Speedway, gates open at 4. We race at 7. We have twin 50s with the McGonigal engine late models. Street stocks, we have the Grant Fritz Greg Dietzen Memorial Legend Race.
75
laps. And we also have Pro Compacts. What a
big
great deal and a big night at Anderson Speedway as we start the month of October off with a bang.
It's always a fun month, isn't it?
It is. Hopefully it'll stay warm.
Yes.
I got to say hi to Libby and Louie.
And I got to say hi to Aunt Jenny. If you're doing well.
And thanks to everybody for the birthday wishes. I didn't realize that. I mean, I got one of them Facebook things, but I never get on it. And today it buzzed me or something. I looked in there. I couldn't believe the folks that did that, and I appreciate it. I made it another year.
You did.
So working feverishly on the schedule for next year. And by the way, folks, I'm working with sanctioning bodies. So if you got any questions, concerns, or suggestions that I can take to folks, like I have a meeting next week with the folks at CRA, send them to me. If you got any questions or concerns, because I had a conference call today. They're wanting to improve the way they do things too.
Yes.
So we can help each other out. With that, I'm Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We look forward to seeing you this Saturday night at Anderson Speedway as we kick off the month of October. With that, I guess that's it. I've already said who was talking, didn't I?
I think so. So
okay.
I think we're done for the night.
All right. Have a great week or day, and we will see you Saturday night.